The Minnesota Vikings are still active on the market and are in advanced negotiations with two big NFL stars. You will be surprised by today's news, but first don't forget to like this video, because your like helps us reach more Minnesota Vikings fans, so subscribe now so you don't miss any more news. Now enough of the chatter and let's get to today's news.
Adrian Peterson reveals, "I wanted to play in Texas, but fate with the Vikings changed everything." Adrian Peterson is, without a doubt, one of the greatest names in the history of the Minnesota Vikings. The 2012 NFL MVP, 7-time Pro Bowl selection, and owner of countless memorable runs in the purple jersey, he is a true icon of the franchise. But if Adrian's own wish had come true in 2007, his story would have been written elsewhere. More precisely, in the state where he was born and raised, Texas. In a recent interview with the Stories Untold podcast, hosted by Natalie Bode, Peterson was honest when remembering the day of the draft that changed his life. "At that time, I wanted to drop to 10th, because then I could have come home and played in Texas," revealed the running back, referring to the Houston Texans, who held the 10th overall pick that year. Peterson, then a University of Oklahoma sensation and the Heisman Trophy runner-up in his freshman year, was considered one of the most explosive talents in the 2007 class. He was expected to go among the top picks, with speculation surrounding the Detroit Lions, 2nd, Cleveland Browns, 3rd, and Arizona Cardinals, 5th. But when the Minnesota Vikings came calling with the 7th overall pick, Peterson had his sights set on what was to come. "When Minnesota moved up, I said, I think they're going to pick me," he said, recalling the mixed feelings between pride at being drafted and frustration at not having returned to his home state. A native of Palestine in the Texas countryside, Peterson grew up equidistant from Houston and Dallas, and with his heart set on Texas traditions. He dreamed of playing for the University of Texas Longhorns as a youngster, but that dream was dashed by a setback he never forgot. "I thought Texas should have been the first offer," he said. "I was a Longhorn all the time. That bothered me. I was number 1 in the country for 2 years. How come you guys didn't offer me right away?" So he opted for the University of Oklahoma, where he shined, amassing 4,041 rushing yards and 41 touchdowns in 3 seasons, even as he dealt with injuries and defenses that were increasingly adapting to his style. Still, the desire to return to Texas, this time as a professional, remained alive until draft day. At the time, the Houston Texans were looking to bolster their offense, but they chose to wait and passed on Peterson. He fell into the hands of the Vikings, and from there, wrote a legendary career in Minneapolis. Still, he makes no secret of the fact that playing in Texas would have been awesome. But fate, as it often does in the NFL, made its own choice. Peterson was Rookie of the Year in 2007, League MVP in 2012, and remains the last non-quarterback to win the NFL's top individual award. He led the league in passing yards for several seasons and helped keep the Vikings competitive even during a rebuilding season. Peterson also wryly recalled how some teams regretted not drafting him. In particular, the Arizona Cardinals, who chose offensive tackle Levi Brown at number 5 instead. "I ended up playing for Arizona for almost half a season," he said, recalling his brief stint with the franchise in 2017. "They said, that was the worst decision." Matthew Judon enters the Minnesota Vikings radar to bolster the pass rush in 2025. The Minnesota Vikings remain aggressive in the free agent market, and a new big name is gaining traction behind the scenes in Eagan. Matthew Judon, a veteran edge rusher formerly of the New England Patriots, who is recovering from an injury but remains one of the most respected pass rushers in the NFL. According to sources close to the league and speculation in local media, the Vikings have been closely monitoring the situation of Judon, who is a free agent after failing to reach a new agreement with the Patriots. At 32 years old, the linebacker still has the fuel to impact a front seven, and Minnesota could be the ideal destination for his next career step. Before his biceps injury suffered early in the 2023 season, Judon was on all-pro pace, with 40 sacks in just 4 games. In 2022, he shone with 15.5 sacks and was the big name on New England's defense. Known for his first-step explosiveness, versatility, and ability to pressure from multiple positions, Judon is seen as the type of player who could instantly elevate the Vikings' pass rush. Despite the injury, Judon has fully recovered, is already training at a fast pace, and has been taking part in visits with interested teams. Minnesota, which has had ups and downs in sack production in 2024, is still searching for a final piece to round out its defensive rotation. The connection between Matthew Judon and defensive coordinator Brian Flores could be the key to turning that speculation into reality. Flores coached Judon in New England in 2019 when he was the Patriots' assistant defensive coordinator. The two have a good relationship, and Flores' system, known for its creative blitzes and aggressive schemes, would be ideal for making the most of Judon's skills. In addition, the Vikings' defense already has names like Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, Andrew Van Ginkel, and Dallas Turner, the latter recently drafted and full of potential. Judon could step in as a veteran presence, providing immediate impact in third-down situations while also serving as a mentor to younger players. With approximately $31 million available under the salary cap, the Vikings have room to negotiate a contract with Judon. Due to his age and recent injury, it is possible that the edge rusher will accept a 1 or 2-year deal with performance incentives in the range of $8 to $10 million annually, something similar to what names like Justin Houston or Zadarius Smith received in similar situations. For the Vikings, this type of short-term deal is ideal. It doesn't compromise the team's financial future while also adding proven talent to the roster. Judon's potential arrival would be another clear message that the Vikings are not in a rebuild, but rather a competitive restructuring. With a young offense led by J.J. McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and T.J. if Judon joins the roster, Minnesota would have one of the most versatile pass rush rotations in the NFC, with experience, youth, and aggressiveness. Exactly what you'd expect from a Flores-led defense. The connection between Matthew Judon and the Vikings makes sense on and off the field. It's a move that combines necessity, ideal system, and history between coach and player. For fans, it would be yet another big name wearing the purple and gold, reinforcing the hope that 2025 will be the year the team finally takes the next step towards the NFL elite.